Imagine this. A movie-perfect heist, but it's real life. We're talking millions of dollars. The Italian Mafia, and a plan so audacious, it sounds like something straight out of Hollywood. This is the story of the Trenitalia Armored Car Attack. If you love a good true crime story that will keep you on the edge of your seat, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because you are not going to want to miss a single detail of this incredible tale. Let's set the scene. It's the 1990s in Italy, a time when the country was grappling with powerful organized crime syndicates. These weren't just street gangs. They were sophisticated, deeply entrenched organizations with influence in politics, business, and everyday life. The Sicilian Mafia, or Cosa Nostra, and other groups like the Camorra and Ndrangheta were at the height of their power. Their operations ranged from extortion and drug trafficking to massive public contract fraud. They were bold, they were ruthless, and they were always looking for the next big score. This is where our story begins, not in the back alleys of Naples or Palermo, but on the very tracks that connect the country. The Italian railway system, Trenitalia. Every day, vast sums of cash, collected from ticket sales and other railway operations across the country, were transported in what were supposed to be highly secure, armored train cars. These were essentially moving vaults, designed to be impenetrable. For the Mafia, these money trains represented a tantalizing prize, a concentrated fortune just waiting to be taken. It was a challenge they were more than willing to accept. The planning for this heist was meticulous, something that could have taken months, if not years. The masterminds behind it needed to know everything. They studied train schedules, routes, and security protocols. They needed to know the exact composition of the armored car, its weak points, and the number of guards on board. They would have needed inside information, a source within Trenitalia, or the security company, feeding them crucial details. This wasn't a smash-and-grab job. It was a complex military-style operation that required precision, timing, and a whole lot of nerve. The target was a specific train, traveling a specific route, likely one known to carry a particularly large sum of cash. The chosen location for the attack would have been carefully selected. It needed to be a remote, a stretch of track far from the nearest town or police station, where the train would be vulnerable and isolated. A tunnel, a bridge, or a dense forest area would be ideal, providing cover and limiting escape routes for the security personnel. The gang assembled a team of specialists, experienced gunmen for intimidation and firefight capabilities, explosives experts to breach the armored car, and drivers for a swift getaway. On the day of the heist, everything was set. As the train approached the predetermined spot, the plan swung into action. The first step was to stop the train. This could have been done in several ways. They might have used a vehicle to block the tracks, or perhaps they tampered with the signals to force the train to a halt. Another possibility is that they created a fake obstruction, luring the train crew out to investigate, only to be ambushed. Whatever the method, it was effective. The massive train, a symbol of state power and reliability, ground to a halt, exactly where the robbers wanted it. The moment the train stopped, chaos erupted. The heist crew, armed and masked, swarmed the scene. Their movements were practiced and efficient. Some members would have focused on neutralizing the train driver and crew, ensuring they couldn't radio for help or attempt to restart the train. The main force, however, had one target: the armored car. The guards inside were trained for this, but they were now in a terrifying position. They were trapped in a steel box, surrounded by a heavily armed and determined force. A firefight likely ensued, with bullets ricocheting off the reinforced walls of the car. The robbers' goal wasn't necessarily to harm the guards, but to overwhelm them with superior firepower and force them to surrender. With the guards suppressed, the next phase began. Breaching the vault. This is where the explosives experts came in. Using precisely placed shaped charges, they would have targeted the car's weakest points to the doors or the locks. The explosion would have been deafening, a concussive blast designed to rip through solid steel. It was a high-risk maneuver. Too much explosive, and they could destroy the cash inside. Too little, and the door wouldn't budge, wasting precious time. But these were professionals. The blast did its job, peeling back the thick metal door like a can opener. Inside was the prize: bags upon bags of cash, lira, the currency at the time, worth millions of dollars. The crew worked quickly, forming a human chain to transfer the heavy bags from the train car to their waiting getaway vehicles. Every second counted. They knew that even with the best planning, the window of opportunity was small. A silent alarm might have been triggered, or a passing motorist could have noticed the commotion. Speed was their only ally. Within minutes, it was over. The bags of money were loaded, and the getaway cars sped off, disappearing into the Italian countryside, melting away into a network of safe houses and clandestine routes. They left behind a scene of controlled chaos, a disabled train, a smoking, breached armored car, and terrified but mostly unharmed guards and crew. For the authorities, the investigation would be a nightmare. The robbers had vanished, leaving behind very little evidence. The professionalism of the attack pointed directly to a major organized crime syndicate. The sheer scale and audacity of it sent a clear message. No target was off. In the aftermath, the investigation was massive. The Italian police, the Carabinieri, and anti-mafia prosecutors threw everything they had at the case. They knew this wasn't the work of amateurs. The level of planning, the inside knowledge, the military precision, it all had the signature of a top-tier mafia clan. The investigation likely focused on tracking the stolen money. Large amounts of cash are difficult to launder without leaving a trace. They would have also leaned on informants, trying to pick up whispers in the underworld about who was suddenly flush with cash or boasting about a major score. Over the following months and years, arrests were made. Through painstaking police work, wiretaps, and informant testimony, pieces of the puzzle started to come together. Authorities were able to link the heist to prominent figures within a powerful mafia clan. The trials that followed were major events, shedding light on the inner workings of these criminal organizations. It revealed how they could corrupt officials, gather intelligence, and execute incredibly complex operations. It was a chilling look into the power they wielded. While some of the masterminds and foot soldiers were eventually brought to justice, it's widely believed that a significant portion of the stolen millions was never recovered. The money was successfully laundered and absorbed into the mafia's vast financial empire, used to fund other criminal activities, from drug trafficking to illegal construction projects. The Trenitalia Armored Car Heist became a legendary event in the annals of Italian crime. It was more than just a robbery. It was a demonstration of power. It showed the world the reach and sophistication of the mafia in the 1990s. For them, it was a massive success, boosting their prestige and their bank accounts. For the Italian state, it was a profound embarrassment and a wake-up call, highlighting the deep-rooted challenge that organized crime posed to the nation's security and economy. The story serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the most incredible movie plots are inspired by real-life events that are even more dramatic and daring. It is a testament to a time when criminal organizations operated with such audacity that they could literally stop a train in its tracks and walk away with a fortune. What do you think is the most incredible part of this story? The planning, the execution. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. I read every single one. And if you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a huge thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on, so you don't miss our next dive into another unbelievable true story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.